She thinks she's won. He's still with her, for now. But what if I told you there's a psychological trigger that can make him lose feelings for her without you saying a word? It's not about begging, chasing, or even confronting him. In fact, the less you do, the faster he walks away from her. If you're ready to unlock the silent power move that flips the script, keep watching, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to make him choose you. Let's get something straight. Men don't leave because of a fight. They don't leave because of some magical better option either. They leave because a feeling shifts, subtly, silently, and often before they can even explain it to themselves. That shift? You're about to control it. This isn't about seduction or chasing. It's about psychological leverage. You won't need to change who you are. You won't need to steal him. You'll make him want to leave her, and wonder why he didn't do it sooner. The truth is, men are biologically wired to desire emotional challenge. Not chaos, not drama, but something they can't fully possess. When he gets too much comfort, too much access, too much certainty, he disconnects. You'll use that very instinct to your advantage by activating the one thing that no woman wants to admit. She has invisible power. In this video, we're going to break down the exact psychological blueprint that flips the dynamic. You'll learn the one emotional trigger that makes him pull away from her and turn toward you. How to withdraw silently so he starts doubting everything about his current relationship. The way to plant yourself in his memory like a repeating dream he can't wake up from. And finally, when he chooses you, you'll learn how to respond in a way that makes it permanent. But fair warning, this isn't for everyone. If you're addicted to instant gratification, validation, or being chosen overnight, you'll sabotage your own power before it starts working. Because what we're unlocking here is based on strategic emotional shifts, not manipulation. Here's your first clue. The more you make him chase a version of you that is just out of reach, the more he distances himself from everything that feels too available. And guess who usually becomes the most available? That's right, the girlfriend. So if you're ready to break the cycle, stop overgiving, and finally understand how to make him feel what he's been blind to, then buckle up. This is about to change everything. Let us talk about the forbidden trigger. Why men leave when they feel. This, not love. Love isn't what keeps him with her. It's something far more fragile, and once it's gone, he'll detach without a second thought. Here's the invisible force that decides if he stays or walks away. Let's kill the biggest lie first. Love is not what makes a man stay. He can love her. He can care about her. He can even have plans with her. Trips, dinners, a shared dog, maybe even talk of a future. But he'll still walk away if one critical emotion disappears. Tension, not stress, not conflict, not drama. We're talking about the subtle tension between wanting and having. The moment he feels like he has her completely, the hunger dies. Not because he's evil, but because of wiring, psychological, biological, and emotional. What really keeps a man invested? It's not sex. It's not effort. It's not how good she is to him. It's not even compatibility. It's emotional uncertainty. The magnetic pull of wanting something he doesn't fully possess. Humans crave what they think they might lose. And here's the twist. The longer he feels safe, the more he takes it for granted. That's where the emotional security illusion begins. She thinks being stable, loyal, and always there is enough. But in reality, she's accidentally suffocating the very instinct that made him chase her in the first place. The scarcity blind spot. Here's where it gets dangerous. For her, not you. When a man no longer perceives his partner as scarce or emotionally independent, he starts doing two things. One, micro-comparing. He starts noticing the women around him, especially the ones who seem untouchable, intriguing, or slightly distant. That doesn't mean he cheats. It means his dopamine starts drifting elsewhere. 2, memory editing. He doesn't remember the things she did for him. He remembers how he felt around her. And if what he feels now is boredom, guilt, or responsibility, The mind starts rewriting the story. She used to be more fun. I don't feel the same spark anymore. Something's missing. What's really missing? The challenge, the emotional edge, the internal reward system that makes him work for it. Why complacency kills attraction. When a man gets too much, too soon, too available of a connection, his brain stops chasing. This is why the girl who doesn't answer every text, who keeps a sense of mystery, and who seems fulfilled without him, becomes a fantasy in his head, even if they've barely spoken. That fantasy is you, by the way. Because while she's trying to prove she's the one, you're becoming the one he can't quite figure out. The emotional trigger you'll use. Now here's where your power begins. He doesn't leave her because he fell in love with you. He leaves her because you represent what she stopped being. She gives comfort. You give tension. She gives routine. You give emotional spikes. She gives presence. You give possibility. And the more she tries to secure him, the more he starts feeling trapped. Even if she's not doing anything wrong, men don't leave bad women. They leave women who feel like certainty. Real-world example, the shift begins. Let's say he's still with her. You've had some connection. Maybe in person, maybe online, maybe just energy. Nothing solid, but it's there. She thinks she's winning. But then you do something subtle. You stop being interested. You stop reaching out. You appear genuinely focused on your own world. You become selectively responsive. Not cold, not rude. Just unavailable enough to make him feel the tension return. And this is where it starts happening. He notices when you don't like his posts. He wonders why you didn't say hi like last time. He replays your last conversation because he misses how it made him feel. Meanwhile, her texts? Routine, predictable, emotionally flat. His brain starts micro-withdrawing from her and leaning toward the possibility of you. Key concepts, recap. Emotional tension creates attraction. Comfort alone destroys it. Scarcity triggers interest. Over-availability triggers blindness. Challenge feels alive. Complacency feels dead. You are the escape. She is the obligation. Before we go into the silent withdrawal phase next, here's your move. Stop rewarding inconsistency with energy. Don't text first. Don't check in. If he hasn't stepped forward, don't fill in the gap. Every time you don't react, you build tension. Every time you withhold approval, you become the reward. Every time you seem fulfilled without him, his curiosity spikes. This is your leverage. What men truly crave isn't the woman who gives them everything. It's the woman who makes them. Earn the right to get closer, and never lets them fully figure her out. That's you now. And in the next session, we go even deeper into the next psychological weapon. The silent withdrawal, how to make him question everything without saying a word. You ready? The silent withdrawal, how to make him question everything without saying a word. The moment you do this, his brain will start rewriting history. He'll suddenly notice her flaws, her neediness, and you'll occupy his mind 24/7. But warning, most women self-sabotage here by doing the exact opposite. She still thinks she has him. But now you've stopped showing up the way you used to. You're not chasing. You're not liking. You're not making it easy anymore. And he feels it. He may not show it right away, but something's happening inside his brain. A void just opened, and now he's trying to fill it. Welcome to the silent withdrawal. This is where your energy becomes the most dangerous drug. Because you're not angry. You're not ghosting. You're simply shifting away. And in doing so, you flip the power dynamic without a single word. Why this works? Psychology breakdown. The male brain is wired for contrast. He doesn't notice her neediness until he experiences your distance. He doesn't realize her energy is draining until he remembers how light he felt with you. He doesn't recognize how bored he is until you stop showing up. This is called the comparison effect. The emotional brain compares not based on logic, but on how it feels to be around someone. So the moment your presence becomes a memory, not a guarantee, his mind starts doing the work for you. What most women do that destroys the effect. Here's where 90% of women ruin it. They start pulling away, but still check his stories. They stop texting, but still accidentally like his post. They claim to be done, but watch his every move. That's not withdrawal. That's pretending to detach while still feeding his ego in the background. And trust this, men can feel it. If you want this to work, your withdrawal must be real, clean, and calm. No rage, no games, just a graceful disappearance from his emotional radar. And that's when the questions begin. Why did she stop? Did I mess something up? Is she seeing someone else? Why do I care so much? He's spiraling, and you haven't said a word. The obsession loop begins. As your presence fades, your impact increases. Why? Because you've left him with unfinished emotional energy. That's the very thing that keeps replaying in his head. A laugh, a look, a moment of connection. The way you didn't chase. Suddenly you're everywhere in his mind. And she's there, sure, but now she feels different. Needier, louder, heavier. He doesn't want to hurt her, but something inside him starts resisting her energy. He starts pulling back emotionally. She feels it. She starts trying harder. He gets annoyed. He starts missing you more. You didn't take him. You just created a void he can't unfeel. How to withdraw without losing power. Here's the art of withdrawal. You don't disappear. You disengage. There's a difference. You show up, but with less emotional energy. You reply, but with delayed warmth. You're polite, but no longer invested. You're visible, but not available. You give just enough to keep your memory alive, but never enough to satisfy him. This is how obsession is born. The 3-word text, use with caution. Let's say he reaches out. He senses the shift. He wants to reel you back in, just a little. He sends a, hey stranger, or been thinking about you. Do not fall into the I missed you too trap. You want to lean in just enough to feed the loop, then vanish again. Here's your reply. You good now? That's it. 3 words. No emoji, no warmth, no follow-up. It's disarming, emotionally neutral, and it signals one thing. I've moved on emotionally. You no longer affect me. His brain panics. And boom, he's back in the loop. Now he's the one looking for signs. Now he's the one reading into things. Now he's wondering if he's losing you to someone else. You are no longer the backup plan. You've become the missing piece. What to do if he doesn't reach out yet? Don't panic. That silence? That's working in your favor. Here's what's happening internally. He's noticing the difference. He's scanning his past interactions with you. He's starting to resent how comfortable things feel with her. He's realizing that your presence felt like possibility and now it's gone. Let him sit in that discomfort. That's where growth and longing lives. Why silent withdrawal works. It activates scarcity. You are no longer a given. It triggers contrast. He sees the emotional difference between you and her. It disrupts dopamine habits. You're no longer the easy fix. It creates mental loops. He starts idealizing what he lost. This is one of the most lethal, emotional triggers because it doesn't provoke his defenses. It bypasses logic. It goes straight to longing. And once that longing begins, it only grows. The replay effect. How to become the one. He can't stop thinking about. Men don't chase who's in front of them. They chase who leaves them. This is how to weaponize nostalgia so he starts idealizing you and resenting her. Let's get one thing clear. Distance doesn't erase you. It amplifies you. If the first session created the void, then this is what fills it. With you. Not the real, messy, everyday version of you. The idealized, elevated version that lives in his head now. And the more time passes, the better that version becomes. Welcome to the replay effect, where you stop being a woman he knows, and start becoming the woman he remembers. How the replay effect works, the psychology. Every man has a mental archive of the women who got away. Not because they were the prettiest. Not because they were the most compatible. But because the story with them was never fully closed. Unfinished stories become obsessions. Why? Because the brain craves closure. And when it can't get it, it starts looping. What happened? What did I miss? Did she ever really want me? This is emotional gravity. And it's exactly where you want to be. Because once he starts replaying memories with you, he's not comparing facts, he's comparing feelings. And those feelings? You can now control the emotional weight they carry. How to become the emotional high. Think back to every moment you shared with him. A laugh that caught him off guard. The way you challenged him playfully. The way you made him feel seen. Not praised, not chased, but understood. Now, imagine him replaying that moment while he's with her. Her voice starts to annoy him. Her routines feel stale. He starts noticing she doesn't light him up the same way. That's the contrast effect working again. But now you're not just absent. You're romanticized. He doesn't want you. He wants the version of you his memory edited into perfection. And guess what? That version is more powerful than you were in real life. How to plant replay triggers without contact. You don't need to message him. You don't even need to speak his name. You just need to activate nostalgic anchors. 1. Post something emotionally ambiguous. Not sexy, not obvious, just charged. Example. A moody sunset captioned, "Some moments don't need a second chance." A blurry photo of a night out with no context. A lyric that hits a little too close. What this does, it forces his mind to interpret, to fill in the blanks. And when he wants to fill in the blanks, it means he's invested. 2. Reference a shared moment indirectly. This doesn't mean tagging or hinting. It means posting or doing something that mirrors a past memory. Example. Visiting the same coffee shop. Wearing a color or style he once complimented. Sharing a quote from a movie you both laughed about. It hits like a personal message he was never supposed to see. And now, he's reliving it, whether he wants to or not. What to avoid that breaks the spell? Overposting. Mystery evaporates when you flood his feed. Thirst traps. They provoke lust, not longing. You want emotional memory, not sexual bait. Obvious targeting. If it feels like it's for him, he'll resist. Let it feel like you've moved on and that he's not supposed to be thinking about you. Because forbidden thoughts stick harder. And if he feels like he's not supposed to care, he'll care even more. The unfinished business loophole. Here's where things get interesting. When he thinks of you, he doesn't feel rejection. He feels potential that was never realized. What if we had tried? What if I hadn't stayed with her? Why do I still think about her? That inner monologue? That's you occupying real estate in his subconscious. And every time she does something that feels routine, you become more mythical. Every fight they have, every off moment, every dry interaction, they all magnify your absence. She's trying to hold him, but his heart's slowly slipping away toward a memory of you that keeps getting sweeter. How to reinforce the replay. If he reaches out now, stay emotionally elevated. No passive aggression. No sarcasm. No "where have you been" energy. You're the woman he remembers, not the one who needs closure. Say less, smile more. Keep the mystery alive. If you meet or interact in real life, do this. Be warm but nonchalant. Listen more than you speak. Drop one emotional spike, a compliment, a touch, a smirk, and then vanish again. That one moment will echo louder than anything she can give him 24/7. Why the replay effect works. Memories evolve, and you control the narrative now. Emotional nostalgia beats logic. Every time. Mystery plus absence. Romantic obsession. The less you explain, the more he rewrites. And he'll rewrite you into perfection. The final shift. When he chooses you, and how to make it stick. He'll reach out. He'll confess. But if you respond the wrong way, he'll go straight back to her. Here's the exact script to make sure he never wavers again. It happens suddenly. After all the silence, the distance, the quiet tension. You get the message. "Hey, been thinking about you. I miss our conversations. I didn't realize how good it was with you until now." And in that moment, your instinct is to rush in, to say everything you've been holding back, to confess, explain, reclaim what was almost yours. Don't. Because this final phase is the most dangerous. If you respond like the old version of yourself, the one who wanted to be chosen, he'll feel it, and he'll lose respect, lose tension. Retreat back to the safety of what's familiar. But if you hold the right emotional frame, you'll trigger something permanent. What's happening in his mind right now? By now, he's already emotionally detached from her, romanticized you through the replay effect, begun questioning why he stayed so long in the first place. But here's the truth. Even when a man leaves, part of him still fears losing control. He wants to return to you, but on his own terms. with safety, with ego intact. If you rush in with too much warmth, too much validation, too much availability, he subconsciously thinks, "Oh, I still have her," and the chase dies again. So instead, you must become what he can finally have, but only if he earns it. Introducing the unshakable frame. This is the psychological posture that says, "You might have access to me again, but you don't own me anymore." And the only way he gets that access is by rising to your standard. Here's how to hold the frame. 1. Don't give him emotional closure yet. He wants to know you're still emotionally invested. Don't let him. When he says, "I miss you," reply with, "I don't really think about the past much anymore." Subtle, devastating. Now he feels behind, chasing, curious. 2. Set a new tone for how you speak. Be calm, warm, but slightly distant. Let your vibe say, you're open, but no longer waiting. That tension, that's power, and he'll lean in to close it. 3. Don't accept crumbs. Set the standard. If he wants to catch up, make it earnest, not casual. Say, "Let's not do the whole vague texting thing. If this is real, it deserves clarity." You just put the ball in his court, without begging, explaining, or overgiving. The confession trap and how to flip it. He may say something emotional. "I made a mistake. You've been on my mind. I should have left her sooner." This is the trap. Responding with emotion instead of precision. He needs to feel that being with you now is not a rewind. It's a level up. Try this instead. "It's wild how much things change when you stop chasing what wasn't right for you." You didn't attack her. You didn't beg for him. You simply held a truth. And now he sees you as the grown woman who gets it. That's irresistible. Delayed reciprocity. Lasting obsession. Here's where most women blow the ending. He gives a little, and they give everything back. Instead, you use delayed reciprocity. If he opens up emotionally, you smile, but don't match it right away. If he says he wants to see you, you say, "Maybe. I'm not sure if it's the right time yet." Let the tension breathe. He'll feel like he has to win you, not just return to you. And when a man feels like he has to earn you, even after all the history, that's when he commits with pride, not guilt. When to walk away, yes, still an option. If he flakes, sends mixed signals, says he needs time, don't argue, don't explain, don't wait. Say this, "I care about you, but I'm not in the business of revisiting halfway energy. Take care. Walk, mean it, and never chase." That one sentence will echo louder than any plea or emotion ever could. It says, "I was the prize all along. You just noticed too late." Here is our recap of how to make it stick. Don't collapse the mystery, even when he shows up. Hold the unshakable frame. You're open but not desperate. Let him invest first. Then match. Respond, don't react. If he stumbles again, walk with grace, not bitterness. This isn't about punishment. It's about preserving the very thing that drew him to you again, your self-worth. Because when you become the woman who doesn't need to be chosen, that's when he chooses you fully. This isn't about manipulation. It's about mastery. Understanding the psychology of men gives you freedom. Freedom from chasing, from proving, from overgiving. You now hold the silent power that most women never discover. The ability to shift his emotional loyalty without ever begging for it. He'll walk away from her, not because you asked, but because he finally felt what she could never give him. The challenge of earning you, and the fear of losing you again,